What's up, guys? This is Will from CowHammer Studios, and I'm with Rob. Rob, say hi.
Hello.
So Rob recently worked on a debug menu for the game we're building, The Forbidden Flask. Check us out. Anyways, so this menu allows us to do a lot of debugging when we're working out these kinks before launch and working out the newer features. And we wanted to run through how he made it real quick. Quick little like a mini devlog. So I hope you watch and enjoy. Take it away, Rob.
Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, when testing this, to test out different things we're doing, uh, you know, different NPCs, different guard types, etc., etc. Uh, could just kind of wait for them to spawn randomly, but a lot easier to test. We can just kind of force it. So, at a basic debug menu, let's control some things about the game, set the time of day so we can restart the day, end the day early, uh, simulate when you get
Get in
caught.
trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, with a guard.
Artificially bust. Artificially
Right.
bust.
Get busted.
Yeah.
uh, Spawn certain customer types, which there's some more about to be in the game. The menu just does the basic customer and plague doctor. We're gonna have more of each type, of course, and have more buttons for those, of course, once they are fully implemented.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, basic stuff. I can set the time back to 0, start the day over. It toggles that back to the beginning again at the bottom. I can just end the day. We made 0 because we didn't play, but um, we can toggle that. Of course, only in the debug builds of the game, not available in, release versions because it's just for debugging. um, FPS counter, which shouldn't ever drop because this game, isn't graphically intensive or anything. It's no fancy 3D effects or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go back over to the code here. And just to show it real quick before we do that, just I can slap the customer button, spawn a whole bunch of
Whole bunch of
lads and
lads.
ladies,
Like 20 lads.
all the lads,
All the
spawn all the
lads.
guards, spawn all guard captain, so it's impossible to do anything. Uh, but yeah, uh, so basically, this is its own scene. We attached to the tavern scene in Godot. Uh, Fairly straightforward, nothing too crazy, but just a menu. It's attached to the main scene. We give it a reference to the tavern, so we can actually control the tavern, variables, run functions, all of that. The visual part itself is just a basic menu. It's just using Godot's control nodes to generate just a menu like any other menu in the game. Uh, Most of the work, of course, in the code over here, and it kind of initializes as an invisible scene. Toggle with a debug key we use tilde. Why not, right? And only if we're in a debug build. So release builds, all this code never actually enables or runs. Uh, and then basically we have it updating like some information consistently, getting frames per second from the engine. This is not ideal for like actually tracking FPS that much, but if we see it drop, we'll know. And there's some kind of weird code doing something, right? I haven't seen it happen yet.
Mhm.
Then it just pulls like your other information from the taverns, variables, and all of that. Uh, and then basically all the buttons are hooked up to just different signals or that run, and it does I can spawn customer. It's very honestly basic when it comes to this. It's just button does this function. The only thing I had to mainly worry about is exposing the function. So this actual scene takes the tavern as an export variable. Otherwise, it couldn't read that stuff because it's the way it's set up. If I go over to the tavern scene, which I didn't pull up, uh, because over here it does slap it on to the end of the tavern scene. This does not exist globally. It's only in the tavern scene, but it could be dropped in other places and not be that
Mhm.
big of a deal. You just have to change, I have a fallback, so if a tavern doesn't exist, it just doesn't run the tavern part of the code. Which basically right now just means you get an FPS counter and that's it. If there's no tavern scene available. But I can do that for other scenes as well and make it so, like, depending on what scene you're on or we drop it into, it can
Mhm.
have different information. Most of our stuff's in the tavern, so it doesn't really matter too much beyond that. Uh, the only things that came up was having to change some of the code around a little bit because we had to be able to reference certain things from this menu that maybe weren't before accessible. For example, a couple things that came up was like when you change the time, the visual indication in the tavern at the bottom uh, of the timer. Originally, it didn't update, and it's made the timer keep going past that. The bar kept going forever. So I had to actually hook it up to like actually kind of work a little differently. Just so when you make changes from the menu, it doesn't like abruptly mess up the UI and stuff like that. Not that that's the biggest deal, but it's easier to test if it's all as you expect it to be for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for that right now. Add some more stuff to it. Handy, and you can do crazy things like, oh, suddenly I want this much gold. Now our
Yeah,
timer
exactly.
works in a way where it takes a long time for it to get to that point, because realistically, there's never a time you're gonna be getting 1,000,000 gold at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I think right now the max you can get in one transaction is like 120, I think.
And it's
Something like
also
that.
great. Well, that's pre upgrades too, right? Like if you have no upgrades,
Correct.
that's the base amount that you can get.
Correct.
Of course, there are upgrades that can increase. Like we have an upgrade. It's called local honey, tentatively. But that increases the price of the mead because it's a higher quality product. So you can sell it for a higher price. Your customers know it's a higher quality product. So you can buy that upgrade, or you can go more into potions, or you can go more into ale, or you can. So that's something that we haven't talked about on this channel yet, is the upgrade system that we're working on. Another thing that
Right.
Rob actually added in the last week is the gold effect. Now they're at the bottom. So if we want, like this debug thing does more. It can test more things than what actually shows in the menu,
Yeah,
because
pretty easy to expand on.
we've got the gold effect down there, and it's just gonna go forever. Like we're only at 1,500 now. It's got like 990,000 more to go. So if we
Yeah, we can
want,
adjust it a bit too.
we
If we need to, like, the effect's pretty adjustable. If you want to make more gold, less gold,
mhm.
more subtle, we can make the hammer go faster if we want to. We
Yeah.
might adjust that as we go, but as of right now, there's no transaction. It takes more than 10, like 5 seconds to change if you don't use the debug menu.
Yeah, but it's great for
Yeah,
like the amount of gold that's just spraying out of this thing. We can, like you were saying, we can increase that, we can decrease that, we can make it, shoot up higher or fall down lower, or there's all kinds of stuff. So this is helpful for testing things like that as well.
particles are fun.
And we're really trying to build things as dynamically as possible, because if we don't want to like set ourselves on like this is going to be here or this is going to be just here. It's great to build. We're trying to build our systems as dynamically as possible. So if we make a new level someday, or make a new one of these or whatever, we don't have to rewrite the entire system every time. We just wanted to talk about the debug menu real quick. So that's it. Rob, do you have anything else to add?
That's it right now. We're just, still adding some stuff to it. We'll see. We'll talk more about it at some point once you've got some more things added, so we can, show off that. Make some other adjustments and stuff to just make it more fun and better.
Yeah, so if you want to keep watching us progress on this game, or possibly a future game, just want to keep up with the work that we're doing and our projects, you can give us a sub. That'd be cool. And also, I stream all the time on Twitch, game dev twice a week usually. So you can follow me at the word 007.